Hey friends, Danny here. So I thought I would come and share a little spread that I just kind of created for myself today because I have been in my head all day long. Like since I woke up, I cannot stop the chatter in my head, like to the point that I've like literally, oh sorry, I got a text message from my friend, that I literally have given myself a slight headache and heartburn. Seriously, like, but here's the thing, it's not an anxiety, like it's not anxiety driven, I'm just in my head. Like I woke up this morning, I had my cup of coffee, and it was quiet. Jacob has school on Saturdays. Lennon slept until probably almost 9:30 this morning. And so I was just like, it was just quiet in the house for a couple of hours. So I was like, I don't know. It's like I shoved myself in there and just can't get out. Like I ended up mindlessly sitting on my floor, wiping down my cabinets in my kitchen, just in my head, like thinking about random stuff, like nothing that was giving me like super anxiety, just like going over things in my head. What would I say about this? I had a meeting today at my yoga studio, you know, kind of going over what we might talk about there. You know, some of the issues they've been having about, you know, not issues, the events. I don't know why I said issues. Anyway, some of the events that are going to be going on, maybe issues from the events, like what kind of issues there might be because of the events, because they're doing some kind of like celebration thing. So it's like 2 full days, in like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, not next weekend, but the next. So yeah, in 2 weekends. So like there's all the things that could come up there. So like I was just kind of in my head about that, about you know, just replaying things and rewriting things and just in there. Even through the meeting, it was like I was there, but still like playing out things in the back of my head. Even right now, I'm having trouble not like just thinking quietly. And I guess it doesn't happen really all that often when I get so stuck in my head, because there's usually all kinds of things going on. So that also lends to feeling a little overwhelmed, or like there's so much going on. I have so much that I want to do, because I always have like this like thing running through my head. So today I'd had enough. After I like legit giving myself heartburn. And I say that because like there's no reason why I should have heartburn. But just, I think just the like if I go over something that brings up like anxiety, I'm trying to like feel where that is in my body and do a couple of techniques trying to get out of my head, right? I'm like, oh, well, I remember when this happened 2 weeks ago and that kind of made me feel a little some kind of way. And then like I would stop and I'm like, where do I feel this? And like, oh, I kind of feel it in my jaw, or like underneath, or like I feel it in my heart space or whatever, like to the point like I swear I've given myself heartburn. And like even now I feel like I'm like not making any sense because there's shit going on. Enough of that mess. I got my friends coming over tonight. We're gonna be cooking some pasta and having salad and apples with ice cream and like all kinds of nice stuff. It's gonna be nice. So I wanted to get out of my head, get back in the present. So I thought maybe let me create a little spread and share it with you guys, because it's a way for me to speak to someone and get it out. and maybe help you. You can use this spread whenever you're feeling that way too. Or when you've had a day where you just can't get out of your head, you know what I mean? So here's what I got. Simple 3 card. I'm going to do it with Earth Wisdom. The Earth Wisdom Oracle. Simple little oracle. Nothing really fancy about it, but I feel like I need to get grounded. So that's why I chose this. This deck, because I feel like I needed of the earth and I wanted to do something with an oracle this time, because I don't use oracle often, so I wanted to get out of my routine and do something with that, because like I said, I need to get grounded. I don't have a lot of I don't think I have any earth in my chart. I am Cancer, which is a water sign. My moon is Sagittarius, which is fire, and I'm a Gemini rising, which is air. So maybe this Cancer season's got my head all crazy. I don't know much about astrology. That's just an assumption. So anywho, I'm gonna use this little deck. It's little bitty. Like I said, there's nothing spectacular about this little deck, but it is kind of grounding, so I think I'm gonna use that. And I just call this little spread the Get Out of My Head spread. And it's just 3 cards. It's going to be what's holding me there, how can I learn from it, and then how can I move forward, right? I'll put it down at the bottom as well. And I'll probably pop it on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm there a lot. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post it up there as well. So I'm just gonna shuffle, try to clear that anxiety, that anxious mind, excuse me. My mind is just crazy today, y'all. I'm like, I already feel a little more grounded even holding these cards, so that's good. Interesting. Okay. What is holding me there? Understanding. Yeah. I think I've mentioned before, like, I'm very much a person that likes to say, but why? So, in that way, I feel like I'm super analytical. Like, way to beat a dead horse. Am I right? Oh, hold on. Sorry. Text messages coming in. I record my videos on my phone, so when my texts come in, I'm like, gotta answer all those. With all my little dinner stuff coming up tonight. So anyway, like I was saying, using the slightly terrible cliche of beating a dead horse. But that's what I feel like I do a lot. And it all stems from, like, what's holding me there, like the need to analyze everything, the need to understand things that maybe I just can't understand. Maybe I just won't understand, right? Like, you can put yourself in someone else's shoes only to a certain point, right? You don't have the same experiences to bring you to that exact place, so sometimes it's really hard. So it's like sometimes I'll get wrapped up in my own feelings, like, I don't understand how, or why would they think this way, or do they think this way? Just so many questions. So ultimately, super valid. Understanding is definitely what's holding me there, is that over analyzing mind. God, but this place is beautiful. I feel like it would make me feel better if I was there. Oh, and I just noticed there are, like, faces in these rocks, and, like, it's kind of how I feel, like, walking over this bridge and, like, seeing all of these rocks, like, who are they? What do they feel like? Do they think of me this way? I mean, their face is kind of sad. Did I do something wrong? You know what I mean? So that feels pretty valid to me as well. How can I learn from it? I got heart healing. And I feel like a lot of this is about kind of letting certain things go and letting go of that over analyzing for a while and allowing myself to heal from it. Because if I'm constantly bringing things back up, then I can't heal. That's like continuously throwing your cut hand into water. It's just going to continue to open up until you allow it to heal. So, you know, going through, like I said, I was trying to get out of my head, like, where did I feel that that pain or that agitation or that hurt or that happiness? Like, where did I feel it? And a lot of it, like I said, was up in my jaw or even in my heart space. So that tells me that there are certain things that I have to release from my heart space and release from my body and my mind and just allow them to heal and like stop picking those wounds, right? So I feel that. Now, how can I move forward? I think this is beautiful. Practical intuition. And I think that that's pretty valid because I feel like it speaks to being aware. Like I like practical intuition because I knew y'all, I knew it. If right in the morning when I started going into that headspace, I was like, this might be the wrong place to be right now, or like I'm being sucked in. I should probably do something different, and I didn't. At that point, maybe I should have picked up my book and started reading. I should have maybe picked up my cards and did some spreads, you know, but instead I didn't listen to my intuition and I allowed myself to fall in there, and then I become this like mind-numbing zombie, like cleaning cabinets and wiping counters and you know what I mean? And then I just stayed there. And then I had to drive a lot today. So like I'm like driving, and that's all headspace, you know? Like I get there and I'm like, wow, I hope I drove safely because I don't remember getting here. I'm just here now. You know what I mean? So I feel like listening to my intuition, and like, doesn't she look super wise? Giving it up to that moon. That hair magic. Hair's come up a lot for me. Rabbits. Probably this year, actually. I've been seeing a lot of it. We have a ton of them in the back. I'm constantly seeing them at night. I had flashes of them in this like weird deja vu thing that I wrote in my grimoire, which I'm going to show you guys one day. I'm like doing like this kind of like art grimoire. But anyway, I have a huge thing about hair magic in there that I printed out and like put. So I like that the hair came here. Because I feel like she is wise, and that's where I need to go. When I start to feel it, I need to listen to my intuition and say, I'm going there. Either figure out what I need to get out immediately, or go somewhere else until I can better handle and not be stuck in here all day. Use the cues from my body, and you know, even, I mean, if I have to say something, say it, which I feel like I did today. Because I was able to, you know, to speak with some of my friends and actually clear some air about certain things. And, you know, that felt really good, and it felt freeing and relieving. I mean, it wasn't anything super crazy, but like it had been a while since we had talked about it. And it was literally something that had nothing to do with me, but like I wanted to talk to my friend about it, and I was able to. So in a way that helped quite a bit, but it still didn't take me out, because I should have gotten out when I felt myself going in there. So yeah, listening to that intuition, drawing from that wise woman within. When I feel it, to go somewhere else, right? So no worries. Like I said, I'm not riddled with anxiety today. That's not it. It's just that I've been so isolated. Sounds like a scary word. But I've been alone a lot today, which I usually really like, and I usually am pretty productive when I am alone. It just so happens I started off wrong today and allowed that aloneness to kind of dig a hole, and like, best way to describe it is like I dug this hole and like now I'm sitting in there and like I don't really know how to get out. So like even in a room of people, I'm just like in that head, you know what I mean? Over nothing. So no worries, guys. I'm not filled with anxiety. This isn't an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Like sometimes, you know, these things can be getting in your head, can really cause those things. And I've been lucky. I've stayed out of that realm for quite a while now, because they used to be really bad. So I've stayed out of that realm. So it's nothing bad. It's just literally just trying to get out of my head. My brain wants to overprocess everything and sit in the past or the future or in the fantasy and play things out instead of just finding something constructive to do. So thank you for listening to me ramble on. I hope you guys like this little spread. Please feel free to use it. If you want to use it and tag me, that would be great too. But like I said, I'll put this at the bottom. I'll put it on Instagram. And I am going to go start preparing my kitchen for cooking and for friends and try to pull my head out of my ass. So thanks for being with me, guys. Much love. See you soon. Bye-bye.